So this Sunday, we dive into the sacrament of marriage. We have the reading from Genesis, where it's the creation of man and woman and how they were created to be complementary to each other, to give life to the world, and their indissolubility of what they were created to be and for who they were. And then we have the challenge of the gospel passage this week as well, where the Pharisees and scribes are asking Jesus about is it okay for a husband or wife to be divorced? And they quote the law of Moses, and Jesus looks at them and he says quite clearly, it's because of the hardness of your hearts that Moses wrote that law for you. Well, when we think about divorce, which is a very real issue in our day and age, and the many different situations that families get into to get into that decision, so often somewhere along the line, that vow to sit there and say, I will love and honor you for the rest of my life, gets wounded, gets broken, isn't being lived out, which leads to the decision for divorce. You know, as I sit there and I think of my own vowed life and the vowed life of all the married couples that I know, it's not easy to live out a vowed life. And when we break our vows and we injure, we don't live out perfectly, we injure not only ourselves, but everybody who's depending on us to live those well, whether it be the family, whether it be the parish, whether it be just the body in Christ in general. It wounds the church when those vows are broken. The beautiful thing about this is, however, though, is that as much as our sinfulness can cause wound or damage, also our living the lives of the Spirit, doubling down on our desire to live them out faithfully, and living the gifts of the Spirit, joy, love, peace, patience, kindness, generosity, self-control, that also has the capacity to be a glowing sign of God's dwelling with us. And one of the most beautiful things to ever behold is somebody, whether it be a couple or any person living their vows, doing so faithfully, with a smile on their face, faithful that what God has begun, He'll also bring it to perfection.